All right, we're live.
What it is.
Yeah, we got the seventh round here. So last round of the 2020 NFL draft. It's been a pretty solid draft. It's been weird though. It's been interesting to see the different setup. You know, all the players and coaches and their different like houses and all that. Seeing all their setup, but it's been interesting. I kind of like it. Like in the future, I think they should have cameras set up like that, like in the houses, and then when they're reacting.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's been fun to just see.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a great process, I think.
Oh yeah. Like you kind of had to. I mean, obviously didn't do it on purpose, but now it's kind of like letting them see how it's going to go. And if you just do it like that and can use it for the future. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, right. And if there ever is a situation where they have to do this completely online, well, it's yeah, they know it'll be way better in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of going into our winners and losers. Like one of the winners to me was the Panthers. They had some good picks as they started. I mean, I think they could have. I think the first pick with Brown, it's a good pick. Like I like the pick for sure. That's why I'm saying that they're a winner just because of that. But they should have went with Simmons. Derek Brown is really good, but I mean, Simmons is the number one player that was on the board at the time, so I don't know why they went with Simmons instead of went with Brown instead of Simmons. But.
Yeah, I'm conflicted about the Panthers because on one hand, they're probably going to lose, I don't know, 10, 12 games. So
yeah,
you should be building for the future. Okay, so what's the objective they're trying to do? Are they tanking for Lawrence? And if so, do they really think their offense is ready for a rookie quarterback and to support him?
right.
Because they just spent 6 picks, not a single offensive player. So I mean, I like some of the players they got. Like I like Chin in the second and Troy Pride in the fourth, but
yeah,
I don't know. I actually had them as a loser because I felt that they could have got way better value with Simmons. That's he's like the modern linebacker. But they were, I think, like bottom third for run defense. So I guess you can't go wrong stuffing the run. So
that's true. I think Gross Matos in the second round. That's pairing him with Brown is going to be a pretty lethal pairing. Like they're both really solid guys. I think. Well, Gross Matos, he has a little bit more room to work to get better, but he's definitely going to be solid with that in the running game.
Yeah, definitely in the run, against the run for sure. They'll be stout, but if you play the Falcons twice, the Saints twice, and the Bucks twice,
right.
How like those teams? Okay, yeah, they're good at running the ball, but guess what? Drew Brees has thrown for 5,000 yards. How many times? Tom Brady, same thing, and now and Matt Ryan, they got to be able to get to the passer. I understand that it's Rule's first year and he's got 7 years, but I felt that they could have gotten Simmons and he would have been the perfect counter to anybody, any tight end or running back in Kamara. And
oh yeah, that definitely would have been good. But and then kind of think the same going off of Simmons. It was weird to see. Even though Simmons was the best one on the board, I didn't expect the Cardinals to go that way. I thought they would have won a tackle, but I think now it worked out for them because they ended up getting Jones in the third, Josh Jones in the third from Houston. So they had the production they needed, and they got probably the third best player in the draft, or even the second behind Young.
Yeah, I agree. So who's are the Cardinals a winner for you?
Let's see. Cardinals. I gotta look at who else they have. I forget who they got.
So they got Josh Jones in the
Yeah.
third, which is like insane. They got Lecky Fotu in the fourth and Rashad Lawrence, and then they got Evan Weaver. They're like I probably will give out 2 A+s, and they get one of them because you flipped your second round pick for a top 3 wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. Then you have a possible right tackle in Josh Jones. Fotu and Lawrence are going to be great against the run. And the amount the 49ers, the Seahawks, and Rams all run the ball, I think those are 2 great picks.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely, they're a winner for me as well. I really like, especially their first 2 picks are just they're probably steals. Like the Simmons falling to 8 is pretty much a steal. I didn't think he was going to fall past 6 or 7, and then Jones falling to the 3rd is just insane. So
yeah, I think they kind of transform their both sides of the ball. Like how often can we say a draft could make a team go from the bottom of the pack to possibly a contender? Like, what did Seattle do this year that impressed people? Well, I actually think Seattle they were a big L for me. And the Rams,
Yeah, Rams, they didn't do really. I mean, Van Jefferson in the second is that's a reach. That's a major reach. And then, Cam Akers, that's a lot. That's really early too for them. I don't know. I think he should have. Like they needed a running back, of course, but I don't know about him, and especially that early.
Yeah. I mean, with what they did, I guess it's okay. Like they still didn't get any linemen. No, they got. No, they didn't. They didn't get anybody.
Yeah, but they do have 3 picks left in the 7th round. So
gross.
I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
Yeah, that's gross.
Nobody wants 3 7-rounders.
Yeah.
But
oh well, right.
Yeah. Another team I was going to talk about was actually the Cowboys, which I hate to do this, but they were definitely one of the winners. Starting out stealing CeeDee Lamb, like he literally fell to them at 17, which is just insane that he fell that far. I don't know how he wasn't before. He didn't go. I don't know how he wasn't the first receiver off the board, even second, and somehow Ruggs went before him. I mean, him and Judy are kind of the same. I thought one or the other was going to go first, but yeah, the Cowboys get him, and even though he wasn't receiver, obviously he's not a need for them, but they got the best player available at that point. So I mean, can't go wrong there. They're going to have a really good offense, and they also, some of the other picks that they got that were really good was, of course, Tyler Biadasz is I don't even know how to say his name, but Biadasz, but out of Wisconsin. He fell really far. It's a steal in the 4th round.
Yeah.
And he's gonna, they have another center that's really good. Like they really focused on offensive line, and now they're gonna have another really good one to protect Dak.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
absolutely. I hate it.
It's like they got a starter with almost every pick. Like Bradley Anae in the 5th, rotational third. Like he could be a pass rusher on 3rd downs. Like I love that pick. Gallimore's a high upside player, defensive tackle. And I don't know. I think the Cowboys could be far and away the best team in that division. And like, how do you stop their offense? How do you stop? Like, okay, like, do you do a blitz? Like, you have a blitz going on, and then you have 3 wide with Cooper, Lamb, and Gallup. Like, you can't do anything. All 3 of those guys are a threat to get open.
Yeah, It's just insane that I was just watching them do this so good. It was just like it infuriates me. Oh,
Yeah.
KJ Hill just went.
Where did he go to?
I just missed where he went. Chargers. I think it was the Chargers.
Okay, this is kind of an underrating pick, but the 49ers take Juwan Jennings in the 7th.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
So Jennings ran, I think, like a 4.7, so like he was off most people's boards. But that guy, if you watch him, he is a running back. Like this is a 49ers wide receiver, like through and through. He will make like 2 guys miss per. Oh man, that's another good pick by them. I really like that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Chargers.
Chargers.
Like, what do you think about the first round? Because Murray's. What do you think?
Let's see. I have to look at the thing again.
So they got Herbert with the 6th.
Yeah, Herbert. Herbert.
Kenneth Murray. And then they traded picks. I think it was 39 and 72. So the 2nd and the 3rd for Kenneth Murray. And then Joshua Kelly in the 4th, Joe Reed in the 5th, and personally, I don't like it. Honestly, I think
I like the Kenneth Murray.
I think they got screwed with. Really?
I think. Yeah, I don't know. He fell like farther than I thought. I thought he was going to go to like low low teens, but I don't know what. Yeah. He was going to go to the Eagles. I thought the Eagles were going to pick him, like either him or Jefferson in the first round, not Reagor. But I mean, I don't now at this point. I don't mind the Reagor's signing. I mean, pick, but I actually like it now more than I did at first. So
the only problem with Murray I have is that he has little man-to-man coverage experience. And when he did, he was terrible. He's like a Telvin Smith kind of backer without any coverage experience. So if you're drafting a guy like that in the first, that's scary because you're gonna have him on all 3 downs. But if I'm Kansas City and I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I'm making sure I have that Murray and Helaire matchup. Like that's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then Joshua Kelly in the 4th, I think that's a fantasy sleeper for me right there.
Oh, yeah, I do like that pick. I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's a good replacement for Gordon.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's some good things that he can do, and he's a good change of pace back too.
Yeah,
he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's solid too.
Yeah, definitely. One of the probably the worst drafts is the Packers, and they have 2 picks left in the 7th round. They haven't gotten a receiver yet. They went obviously Love with the first pick, and which is, I mean, I wouldn't have minded if they stayed at 30, if they get a quarterback that they can develop and potentially be Rodgers' replacement. But if you stay at 30, and you still would have got him. So I don't know, just saying why they traded up to get him. That's the part. That's the part that bothers me about it. Like,
totally.
But even then, I think Rodgers still has some probably 3 or 4 years left, and so Love's going to be sitting there on the bench for all those years, and then he's going to be at the end of his rookie contract by the time he's able to start. So,
yeah, and so I mean, I think I understand why they didn't draft a receiver. Aaron Rodgers hates rookie receivers, them. And he remember 2 years ago when they drafted, I think it was Geronimo and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He would like go on air in press conferences and call them out. Like he just despises them. So I get that. That's why you don't want to draft it. And he probably said to GM and coach, whose names are escaping me, that like, listen, I'm not gonna go through that again. Like,
yeah, I just don't like that they went with Dylan in the 2nd round.
Oh yeah, no, it's terrible. Like, what is he? He's 20 years too late. Like, yeah, I don't know if I guess like he could be like a Kyle Juszczyk guy kind of guy, but
Yeah.
he doesn't catch the ball.
No. Oh yeah. By the way, Benjamin just went to the Cardinals.
Oh really? Oh, that's a good backup.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh, that's a solid pick for them.
Uh,
Oh, Jags are up next. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Hunter Bryant's still on board. That's crazy.
Let's see who the best available is still. Trey
best-
Adams.
Let's see. What does it say on ESPN? Trey Adams, Hunter Bryant, Lavert Hill.
I would prefer. I think I like Lamar Jackson from Nebraska as a cornerback here.
Yeah, I like him better than Lavert. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a good developmental prospect here. Especially I think he's 6'2", 206. Yeah, 208.
Not sure.
Oh, buy and sell said, "Let me in, fellas."
Oh yeah, okay. I gotta actually allow him to be in here. Yo, what's up?
What's up, guys? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm actually
I'm having a great day right now.
Yeah, I'm actually digging the Eagles draft today.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why. We were talking about it on the thread. I don't know why Prince dropped that far.
Yeah.
But at some point, even if it is a medical issue, at some point you got to say, well, if it's a medical issue and we might have to hold him out for a while, it's still a steal to get him that late. So,
I just don't get why. I guess we were talking about before, with the medicals, this year it was just so hard to see people, you couldn't see the players in person, and stuff. So that's why it made it so much harder. That's why so many surprises have come up because of that.
Yeah, I agree. And in the Bengals case, we kind of you never want to say that you're lucky that you coached the Senior Bowl, because that means that you were really awful.
Yep.
But besides Joe Burrow, we then took 5 straight guys that all played in the Senior Bowl because we were there. Yeah. We got to see them, coach them, evaluate them, and then we just made our 7th round pick, who would have been in the Senior Bowl, but he had his senior season cut off due to injury. So we finished with 3 of our last 4 picks were at linebacker, which was by a need isn't even putting it the right way.
It was the worst linebacking core in the league.
Yeah, desperation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we made jokes of it last year when we'd be watching the games that anybody's tight end could move the sticks on us at any given moment. I mean, teams could go for it on 4th and 9 and hit a tight end over the middle every single time.
Yeah.
So we let Vigil go, which is good. Vigil's, he's a tackler, but that's just because everybody got through the line of scrimmage and he just happened to be there. But besides that, he wasn't very impressive. So we were left with Pratt. We signed the journeyman free agent who played with Baltimore. His name is escaping me right now. And then we just drafted 3 of 4 linebackers with our last 4 picks.
So what do you think about the O-line going forward? It's still not fixed. Jonah Williams is only going to plug in one spot. I wrote the winners and losers of day 2, and I said Joe Burrow is a loser because he may have gotten T. Higgins, but if he's not able to be upright, I don't know.
Yeah, and honestly, even Jonah Williams, he's slotting in where Cordy Glenn was.
Yeah.
We cut Cordy Glenn because, frankly, he was a huge headache last year. He missed, I think, between preseason and regular season, he missed 9 or 10 weeks with a concussion.
Yeah.
With a concussion.
Yeah.
And and I'm not saying the concussions aren't serious or anything like that, but if you talk to Buffalo Bills fans who we got him from, we traded for him, they said the same thing. They were like, this guy doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play. He just wants his paycheck. Yeah. So finally, I think we shopped him around, but everybody knew we were going to cut him anyway. So Williams goes into his spot. We get Xavier Tuafilo from Dallas, who is a good player, but not a much better right guard than we already had. Mm-hmm. Maybe a touch more versatile. We did take an offensive lineman late today, which is good. But the more and more that I talk about this, and I apologize, like my knowledge today about the Bengals is way higher than anybody else's because I didn't take a whole lot of notes. I've just been watching, and then my phone is just constantly going off with like 6 different Bengals threads of people talking about this and that and the other, and I'm updating the Facebook page and everything. But I think multiple of us just all agree that the fans hate the offensive line and outsiders hate the offensive line. But for some reason, the Bengals coaches don't hate the offensive line.
Right.
Like, they seem to think that, with another year that they can coach them up. And we've got Jim Johnson, who was, kind of notorious down in Miami. But yeah, so I don't think they made it as much of a priority as Bengal fans did. So I'm not surprised you wrote that because, I mean, we're going to get knocked for it. But, there is a certain point where I'm kind of like, I don't know, if they really don't think it's that big of a deal, then I guess I can trust that. And when assuming we cut Dalton and hopefully re-sign him, if he doesn't end up in Jacksonville or New England as a backup, if we cut him and re-sign him, that saves us just a ton of money that we might be able to get another lineman off the market. But looks like another year of being a makeshift line.
I mean, like if you watch Burrow and what Joe Brady did in the LSU offense, he went 5 wide lots and had Hilaire Edwards split out a lot. And Joe Burrow's best plays are when he can go progression through progression. So I mean,
right?
If they don't have 5 quality linemen and they have 3 wide and there's only 3 guys running routes, I think that's going to be hindering him. Just to talk about somebody who got drafted, Cole McDonald, who was one of my diamonds in the rough.
Yeah,
Titans.
Nice, good call.
I like that pick. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's been a lot more risk taking here towards the end, which I mean I guess is what you do in a draft. Mm-hmm. But I think we all predicted that the bigger schools were going to have a lot of people go earlier because of the lack of tape on smaller school guys, and like you said, that people couldn't go work out for teams.
Yeah.
Kenny Wilkins just went to the Vikings, and I had him in my 3rd and 4th round.
Yeah,
like that's ridiculous. The Vikings are getting another good pick.
Yeah. Is between the time that I was on our chat thread and logged in here, has Zach Moss been drafted yet? Or not Zach Moss?
Buffalo.
I'm sorry, Thad Moss.
I don't think so. I don't think Hunter Bryant was even drafted yet.
No, Hunter Bryant I don't think was either. And then Jacksonville. Jacksonville took a guy that had like 17 catches for 110 yards last season.
I always want to talk about Jacksonville because I love their first couple of picks, but then all of a sudden it just like fell it off. Like, what are they doing all of a sudden? Like,
right.
So I have a theory, and I'm a Jags truther, apparently, or I'm a big fan, so I might be a little biased, but
right,
I don't think Marrone is going to be there. He's the head coach. He's not going to be there next year, I suspect. And they're going to let him go easy because that's what they tend to do with their owner.
Right.
But so Henderson, Chason, Chenault, Barch, Scott, from what I've seen, and Colin Johnson, they're all boom bust players. So, you could give this draft like a B+ and A- right now because it looks good on the surface.
Yeah.
And these all 5 of those guys could be, above average to elite players, but then they could also be off the team by then. They could also just be terrible, and we could have an F grade. So
Right.
I like what we've done in terms of these guys are probably not going to be good this year. And Jacksonville is probably going to win 2 games or 3 games, depending on how Minshew plays. So we're drafting for 2021, and I didn't think Caldwell knew that we would be terrible. Like, I thought, he was kind of in his head, like, oh, we're still going to make the playoffs. Like, we were in the playoffs 2 years ago. It's like, well, no, like, we've lost everybody. We have no talent on this team. You need to be getting.
Yeah, I think I saw a stat earlier today that said I think there's only 3 defensive starters left from that 2017 team.
Yeah, RB Jones, Miles Jack, and what's his name? Yeah, I forget right now.
Right, but even still, I mean, that's a big. I mean, when you're starting 11 guys, that's a big drop off in 3 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I have Jags as a winner right now, but if Chenault doesn't stay healthy, well, then he's a bust. Damon Hamilton, the 3rd round nose tackle, I think that's a good pick. Ben Barch, who knows?
I like Barch a lot, especially with where he went. I in my mind, and we were talking about this the other day, I didn't do, like a full mock like Gio did or anything like that. But just in video I watched and in the research I did, I could have seen Barch going higher. In fact, I kind of wanted the Bengals to take him.
Yeah.
So I think that's a solid pick as well.
Another developmental guy, right? So it's going to be, yeah.
I think that's an issue this year with offensive linemen. There seems to be, aside from the first few that look like they're probably NFL ready, after that, everybody is like, and I know they'll, a lot of them will start anyway, but in theory, they should be developmental guys. But in today's NFL, everybody needs offensive linemen, so everybody grabs one and sticks them in as soon as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even like Becton, he's got a lot of work to do. The Dolphins guy, what's his name? Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson's 20 years old. It's like he was not great by any means last year. Right. And he went up against, I think, AJ Epinesa a couple times. And so now Epinesa is going to go up against Jackson twice a year, I bet.
Right.
And just let him have it because Epinesa beat him.
Yeah. He got eaten alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the offensive linemen that are coming off the board have and Becton, like you said, is a great example too. Besides, Austin Jackson falls in this category as well. I mean, the ceiling is very, very high, but the floor is low too. So I mean, with Becton, you're like, okay, this guy could be really, really amazing. But he also could be I wouldn't call it boom or bust. On his worst day, he's probably still going to look okay. But speaking as a Bengals fan who, took Cedric Ogbuehi and Jake Fisher in the same season, and Ogbuehi just stunk up the joint. And Brady, you're aware of his work.
Backup, man.
Yeah, you're aware of his work.
Yeah,
and Jake Fisher is apparently tight end now. So, so how quickly things can change, because we took them 1-2 in our draft several years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a huge discrepancy between talented O-line and D-line. Like the D-lines are winning right now. There's not enough talented O-linemen. And like for this draft to have 4 in the top like 15, it was big. Can we talk about the Jets draft? Because I think like again, I think it's similar to how Jacksonville drafted. It's a lot of boom bust guys with Mims and Becton who might not be any good in 2-3 years.
I mean, I know he slipped a little bit too, but the quarterback pick was a little odd to me.
Yeah.
When
James Morgan?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. And I think he went at an appropriate spot. He probably should have gone a little sooner. But when you've just committed to Darnold,
right?
I just feel like they have other needs that they could have filled there. And the same way, they also obviously you can't have two quarterbacks on the field at the same time, but they also went out and grabbed another running back, which at the very least for fantasy purposes really complicates that issue with Le'Veon. But I just feel like they had a lot more needs that they didn't really address. But they got good players. But like you said, yeah, it could be really great, or it could go over like a lead balloon.
I like the Bryce Hall pick. Like that me is probably the steal of the 5th round. He last year he was getting 1st round hype, and then it was an ankle and a wrist injury, I think, that set him back. And then this year he was a little slower, and I think that was the ankle. But he fits their system. Like they play heavy zone, and Hall, like he's got no man-to-man cover skills. That was his problem. He can mirror a little bit, but that's like his developmental trait he needs to work on.
Right.
But like zone, he could be a starter from day one, and you get him in the 5th round.
Yeah, I agree.
With Hall, the Jets. I don't know if the Jets are in a position to compete for the division this year or not. I mean, they've had a better chance this year than they have in past years, but heard someone say, Bryce Hall, maybe you should stash him for 1 year, let him, learn for a year, fully recover from any injuries so you don't throw him out there now. And then if you have him back in year 2, he's fully healthy and he's ready to start right away, it might make more sense for the Jets.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think, again, I don't know, though, like about the offense, like this is Darnold's 3rd year. This is a make or break year. They're going to be deciding if he's the quarterback of the future this year, I bet.
Right.
And they were late on the whole, let's get him weapons and let's get him O-line. Like he's been trashed.
Yeah, that's the thing is it is a make or break year, but I don't think it's his fault.
No, it isn't.
Because Le'Veon missed some games last year and probably wasn't quite right even when he came back. But Darnold just didn't have like Robbie Anderson, for instance. I like Robbie, but that's not that they weren't using him the right way, and they're not using him the way that Sam Darnold needs somebody to be used. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming in late. I don't know if you guys have talked about this yet, but why do you guys think Anthony Gordon's sliding so far?
I couldn't even tell you.
It's because of the Leach system. It's like Minshew broke records last year, but also Minshew interviewed very well. I don't know what Gordon interviewed like. Oh, and hey, Gio. Sorry, but I don't know what Gordon interviewed like, and I know that he wasn't as good as Minshew. So in a system that manufactures, like 2,000, 3,000 yards or like 200 yards per game, like, wow, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see them without Leach next year. I think their running back next year, Max Borgi, I think he's gonna have more of a chance to show his skill set, and he could push to be a day 2 kind of guy, because when they actually handed him the ball 7 times a game last year when they weren't throwing, he actually did a lot with those carries.
Yeah, he can make a guy miss for sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm also concerned. I'm sure this has been the talk before I joined, but why Hunter Bryant and Lamar Jackson are falling? I love Lamar Jackson
Me
even more
too.
than Hunter
Yeah.
Bryant. I think
Oh,
he's a
me
big,
too.
physical, lengthy guy who's just. I had a third round grade on him, which I'm higher than almost everyone, a late third on him, and he's still here in the seventh.
I just don't get why he's still there. Like,
I agree. He was one of my diamonds in the rough prospects, and like he's got the size and physicality for most systems, and he just needs a year or two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, and KJ Hill fell to the seventh round. I mean, it's just been a weird day. I can almost understand the Hunter Bryant fall just because he doesn't really present any blocking ability, but that shouldn't be. I mean, Evan Ingram didn't present a ton of blocking ability either, and he went obviously way higher. So I don't know if Bryant didn't interview well, if there's any other concerns, why he's still here.
What was Bryant's 40 though?
I don't think he ran a good. I think he was trying. He added on weight because I think he was trying to mold himself in more of a block.
We just lost Gio. This screen just went black.
I'll take over for him. I don't think I think Bryant's okay. I mean, you know, I think he was my overrated prospect when we did our rankings.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't him. But regardless, you know, these tight ends were they were just okay. They weren't anything great.
I think he should have went before the one guy that the Jags picked. I don't even remember what his name is.
Oh yeah, I have no idea. Like
who are you guys talking about right now? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Hunter Bryant. Why he's falling?
Has he gone yet or no?
What the hell? The Cowboys just picked a quarterback from James Madison.
Backup, man.
Yeah. Now he's going to take over for Dak.
And Thad Moss is still on the board. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did Thad Moss's pre-draft profile, and it's he's another one that's got like, I mean, just a ton of potential, and he's for a tight end, he's a really, really good blocker, really good blocker. I mean, he could probably handle, you know, some of the defensive ends in the league, but offensively, I think he just benefited from playing at LSU.
Yeah. Well,
I still don't think he should go undrafted though.
No, I had a late round 6th grade on him. So I mean, if he gets picked here, it's good value no matter what. But
yeah, I had him late 5th, but my projected spot for him was that somebody would reach for him in like the 4th.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would happen too. I think Hunter Bryant or Moss would make sense for the Steelers right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
No, they got Claypool, man. Claypool's going to play tight end.
That's true. They might want to make him a tight end since they already have some receivers.
That's exactly, and they don't have that role. That I mean, they had the
Carlos Davis. Oof.
Oh, wow.
He was undraftable for me. I had an undrafted grade on him.
I was just talking, Gio. I was just talking about the Titans and Cole McDonald.
Yeah.
I really like that pick because
me too.
I think Tannehill kind of played out of his shorts this past year. Like he was way better than what his normal is.
Yeah,
it could have been a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was a fluke, but that's probably just the skeptic in me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just always good to have. I mean, McDonald's super high potential. Obviously, the biggest concern with him is interceptions. You know, he's got like a Jordan Love aspect of just throw the ball down the field and don't worry about the defenders, and that's fine in some cases. But I mean, like for playing in his system and air raid, but he's got to sharpen that up if he wants any chance to become a starter at the next level. But there's loads of
the dreadlocks. The dreadlocks, man. He's got a carefree attitude. You whip it down the field. Oh yeah, man.
That's true. I don't like that Carlos Davis pick though. I mean, it's hard. You can't call anyone really a bust, obviously, in the 7th round. But when I watched him, he just got overpowered by everyone. His brother Khalil Davis was actually a sleeper of mine, but I don't know about that one. He just doesn't bring much to the table. But it's a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
I think the Titans draft has has mostly flown under the radar because they don't have they haven't had many like sexy picks, anything that people are going to go, oh my God, they got this person or that person or this person.
Other than Fulton.
Yeah, Fulton was the one guy.
Yeah, and that was a great get because he Brady, I don't know if you saw when we did this stream the other day, I was like, I probably said 10 times, if this next pick isn't Fulton, I'm throwing this laptop out the window.
Yeah,
because there was just no reason for him to drop that far. At least not that I know of. Of course, there could have been medical issues or interview issues or something like that, but I was really, really surprised by that.
Arm length, though, right? Like, and I think his best play was off. Well, I mean, there's sometimes some parts when he played press man, he was okay, but he's not big enough to play press man in NFL.
Yeah, he's a zone corner for sure. But
yeah,
I mean, talking about the Titans, I didn't really like the Isaiah Wilson pick. That's the only pick I didn't like.
Actually, that's a good point.
He's a huge reach for someone that I had an early round 3 grade on. Who, I mean, he's a late riser in the process, but I just don't think he moves that well. I think he's just an anchor, and that's pretty much it. I don't know.
I assume before I got here, Alex and Brady, that you guys already discussed Philadelphia.
Yeah.
No, did we? Or was that before the?
I think it was. Yeah, it was kind of before we came out. I was saying I was like, I'm actually really liking the draft today. Like, especially with Prince falling to the Eagles. Like that
was a great pick. I don't know how he fell.
No, either.
Me neither. I mean,
arm length. Arm length was the big concern.
2 rounds in a row as a Bengals fan, I was like, Prince is there. Let's get him. And then the next round, I was like, okay, we have to take this guy. Yeah. We have to take him, and they didn't. But I mean, it was fine with me because we addressed, the terrible linebacker need that we were talking about earlier. But obviously we had offensive line needs too. So I guess it is what it is.
Does Prince play guard or does he play tackle in the NFL?
I
got him guard.
I think he might have to move into guard because his arm length. His arms are too
T-Rex
short.
Arms. Yeah, he's got the T-Rex arms.
But I just don't think he's like that good of an athlete to move inside to guard either. I think it's going to be a little bit of a harder transition than it would for most, which lack of versatility and arm length is probably why he fell, but he shouldn't have fell that far.
Exactly. I agree completely.
I think Driscoll for them is way better at guard. Like he's at least, and like their left guard position, it may be weak, but you have Kelsey right beside you, and then you have presumably the guy they drafted a couple of years ago at left tackle. Like you don't need a all-pro guard. You need a filler who might be a little better than Wisnowski.
Oh yeah, anything is better than that. So.
Yeah.
Well, especially when you're taking somebody, that late in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
If it's still an improvement over what you've already got or what you're working with, then good.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why I loved that they've been stacking up on receivers. Like anything, we didn't have any receivers last year. Now we have like 5 more. So I mean, whatever.
Yeah. But you guys are playing like the Tecmo Bowl offense. Oh, yeah. It's like 3 all goes and like one over the middle.
Just play verticals the whole game.
I mean, and it's not. I was thinking about you today when I started thinking about it, or maybe it was last night. I started thinking about it, and I was thinking about the Rager pick in particular, and I was like, okay. I mean, I guess I could get on board with it if the idea is that your opponent is not going to have 2 DBs that can cover burners all the way down the field. Mm-hmm. So literally you do send them both on goes or throw. I mean, because Wentz can throw, you know what I mean? So the more I thought about it, obviously it's not a guarantee that you'll be able to do that, but the more I thought about it, I was like, I mean, it's not a horrible idea. It's not a horrible idea to say you guys both run as fast as you can, and there's no chance that a team has two DBs that are going to cover them both.
Yeah, because last year, like they were trying to just throw to Deshaun Jackson. He was the only deep threat they had, and then But you do that, then he gets double covered. So
right, and now you got three. You got three that can all run go routes, plus two more that can run slants and over the middle. I don't know. I mean,
plus
I don't know.
It could work. It could work.
The Cowboys.
I'm way higher. Oh, sorry.
I was saying that the Cowboys didn't really have that great of a secondary either. So
yeah.
I think you guys are sleeping on Reagor, to be honest. I had him ranked as number 17 on my big board. Big reason why he has all of the tools to be a successful wide receiver one. He had a couple drops this year for sure, but his quarterback was terrible. If you watch his body control from last year as well as press, so you go 2018 to 2019, 2018, he did not control his body very well, nor was he able to beat press. And I think he's always had a little bit of rack ability, but he just didn't have the opportunity. There's a couple highlight reel plays.
Let me ask you this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Like I just think he may be small, but you know what? He has the deep speed to. He's very unpredictable, and I think that's why I really like. He could literally play anywhere on the field, in my opinion, and he could run almost every route. It'll take him a year to get the route running tree because TCU's offense was just a flaming pile of,
Yeah, it wasn't even French vanilla. It was just regular vanilla.
Horrendous.
Speaking of receivers, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Gio.
I was just going to say, speaking of receivers, how have the Packers not given Aaron Rodgers a new target in this draft?
He's like, that's like, I don't know how they haven't got a receiver.
It's like they want him to leave because this is their last pick right here.
Yeah.
As Jason Cornell from my Buckeyes goes off the board. But this is their last pick. There's still a couple of guys that could – I really like Jeff Thomas from Miami. I think he's a guy you take out in the 7th round. Absolutely electric returner. He would change the returning game so fast. And he's not going to jump in and catch 50 balls as rookie year, but he's a guy that you can mold into a great player. I think he should be gone by now, and I think that should be the Packers' pick here. But I feel like they're not.
Huge off the field concerns, though.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, that's true.
Right? He was one of my diamonds in the rough.
Me too.
Agree.
Oh, the one with the safety.
The picks in for Green Bay. Who's it? Who? I didn't even scout him.
TCU.
Oh,
no,
lovely.
I didn't even look at him. I don't know how the Packers.
What do they do? I don't know what they do. They have the worst draft for sure.
Yeah. What I said before with the Packers is Aaron Rodgers despises rookie wide receivers. He hates them and he'll out them in the public and the media. 2 years ago, you had MVS and the guy who went to the other tall guy. His name's escaping me. Geronimo Allison.
Oh, Equanimeous St. Brown.
Yeah, him too, right? Like it's he doesn't like rookie wide receivers. So I mean, they have Alan Lazard as I guess a number 2. So he played pretty well.
They brought in Devin Funchess, but I mean, I don't see. God. He's got huge drop problems.
I can't stand Funchess, and maybe it's.
I think he should be out of the league by now.
Maybe it's a fantasy thing because I've had him a couple times, but that guy, man, he is so frustrating. Because when he came into the league, he had a lot of potential, and I think he should have done way better things than he has done so far.
Yeah.
And
bye, Gio.
The Giants have Mr. Irrelevant this year.
Ooh.
See what they do.
Oh, you got a little trade, Titans and Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't know what the Chiefs.
I don't know.
Did you guys talk about the Browns draft yesterday?
No, I don't think so.
Not really.
It's solid. It's it's not like spectacular, but every pick is solid.
Yeah, I still stand by what I said in our thread today. That when they took the tight end, and I know Njoku is probably not going to be there, but when they took the tight end, I feel like they should have gone offensive line.
Yeah.
Well, they did in the 5th round though. They got Nick Harris, and he's like he's pretty capable. He's small.
Yeah.
I don't know. So round 1, Jedrick Wills. Sorry. Round 2, Grant Delpit. Like Delpit was a top 5 player going into this year.
Yeah, Delpit's great.
Yeah, he was a steal there.
And Jordan Elliott in the 3rd round is like that guy can get to the passer. Like I don't like his run capability, but if you can have an interior guy that gets, like a consistent 5-sack guy in interior, man, in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Their linebackers are still but Donovan Peoples-Jones in the 6th.
I'm a big you know what? I was actually going to bring that up to you earlier. When it was whoever we were talking about that you said suffered from poor quarterback play.
Jalen Reagor.
Jalen Reagor.
Yeah.
I was going to bring up Peoples-Jones because I think on a lot of other teams, he would have been, his draft stock would have been so much higher.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guy can get the ball. His hands are really, really good.
Yeah.
He can pull in the ball from anywhere, whether it's off of his shoelaces or 3 feet behind him. I'm a big fan. I think that was a solid pick for sure.
Yeah.
Bills
as much as I hate to admit it, the Ravens have had a sick draft too, man.
Yeah, they
did. They've been really solid.
I mean, they've just gotten. I feel like every time the Ravens are on the clock, I'm looking at some of the guys that have fallen to where they are, like where their position is, and I'm like, oh my god! And as a division rival, I'm like, come on!
Yeah, for sure. Dobbins in the 2nd is interesting, right? Like it's
the Cowboys. They've had a really good draft too.
Yeah.
You say Cowboys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're long past that.
Yeah, we were talking about that already, but
they're I think they won the draft easily.
Yeah.
Every pick they've made has done something to help them for next year.
Yeah. Going back to Dobbins and the Ravens, I don't understand why they picked Dobbins over Cam Akers. I don't know.
Akers was gone, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think the Rams took him.
Yeah, but Dobbins, he doesn't beat people. Like he's a vision guy. Like his best ability is his vision and making that 1-2 cut. And that Ravens offense isn't met for like great vision guys. It's meant for guys who can make people miss. Like I don't understand the Dobbins.
It's for just not thinking about it and going.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't think about it, just go.
And Dobbins probably has the best vision of the big 5, right? Like of the 5 running backs. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was kind of a head scratcher, but the rest of their draft is just like Ben Bredesen in the 4th. Come on. Yeah. Devin Duvernay, my guy. Like, come on. And then James Prochet, make me cry.
I'm gonna have fun with this steals draft. I mean, the steals article I'm doing, like the steals and the reaches. Like there's so many steals in this draft.
Like what? Give me 2.
2. Well, start out. Judy and Lamb are the first 2. I mean, that's easy. But there's so many other ones too, like Fulton in the 2nd round.
Bill's pick is in. I'm hoping for a punter here. Hoping for Michael Turk. Dane Jackson, Pittsburgh. He's a very underrated corner. That's a good.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
Super underrated, late riser in the process for me that I just looked at a couple nights ago. But he's definitely has good anticipation. It's a good pick there in the 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a solid pick.
See, Texans have had a pretty good draft too.
Yeah. I did want a punter. I hate Corey Bojorquez, so I'll take an underrated cornerback instead though.
I'm surprised nobody picked Blankenship.
I was
I
just about
know
to say the same thing.
The Bills
yeah.
took a kicker, but it wasn't Blankenship.
No, and before that, the Patriots did.
Yeah, some guy I've never heard of from Marshall. My favorite pick of the draft, honestly, is Houston taking Isaiah Coulter. I think he's just an absolute.
Oh, I didn't know if Coulter went. So Coulter went to Houston?
In the 5th. He went in the 5th to Houston. He's a 6'2" guy who runs a 4.45.
I love him. I love him. I love him.
Such a good player.
He was one of my top draft crushes this year.
Same for me, and he's one of those guys who can make an impact for them right now because they don't have a ton of depth at receiver. Who knows when Will Fuller's going to get hurt again?
Right. Well, I can give you the answer to that. About halfway through the first game.
Yeah.
The Saints traded back in.
And Coulter reminds me a lot of Randall Cobb, and now he's on the same team as Randall Cobb. So.
I actually mocked Coulter to the Bengals before. The question for us was always going to be if we took a wide receiver early, which pretty much means we're probably saying goodbye to AJ Green.
Yeah.
But I was assuming that we wouldn't. Because Mike Brown, he's, despite the narrative, he's willing to spend the money on guys that he loves. And he loves AJ Green. And AJ Green likes Cincinnati. So when I mocked Coulter, it was because I thought, all right, cool, then we don't have to take a wide out until the 5th. And I mocked him in the 5th to Cincinnati, the first pick.
The Saints just went with Tommy Stevens.
Did Tommy Stevens just get drafted?
What the
hell? What? That guy is no. It's a 7th round pick, but I did not think he was getting drafted.
This is such a weird. It's such a weird draft.
Who's gonna take Hunter Bryant? I'm like, someone's got to be like, it's a 7th round pick. I'll take him.
Or Thad Moss.
Green Bay should take Hunter Bryant at this point. Who'd they take? Josiah DeGuara? He's not even better than Hunter Bryant.
There's a few players better than Bryant, I think.
Tight ends, you mean?
No, just in general, just a few players. Like Trey Adams.
DeGuara is a good player.
I know.
Yeah, no, he is, but I'd rather have Hunter Bryant.
I have an opinion on Tommy Stevens. I think he's going to be like another Taysom Hill.
Yeah, exactly, because he runs
in a year like this one where the tight end class is reasonably weak. You get DeGuara, who went over 1,000 yards as a tight end last season. I'll take it.
Same with Harrison Bryant. Who took Harrison Bryant? Was it Cleveland?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they have Hooper. Don't they have Njoku still too?
Yep.
Yeah, I think the argument is that Njoku's 5th-year option probably won't be picked up.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would just try to trade him right now, honestly, but.
Yeah, I would too, because I think there's
a young tight end who's pretty good. I'd give up a 4th or 5th for him.
Yeah, but they're going to get a 3rd-round comp for him if they let him go to free agency.
Oh, well then, yeah, right? Then I would just let him go.
Because he's 25. He's going to make like $10 million or more because some teams go, oh, this guy's an athletic freak. It's like, well, I can't catch the ball, so.
Yeah.
So if I can continue to be a complete homer here, who is writing the steals from the draft article?
Me.
Look at 7th round. Cincinnati took Marcus Bailey, the inside linebacker from Purdue.
That was a great pick.
Yeah.
He missed almost all of last season because he was hurt. But before that, he was on track to be a 2nd round pick easily.
So
this is the 49ers.
This is something. Yeah, Juwan Jennings, huge physical guy. He has some red flags, disciplinary issues.
Yeah, he does. But man, he makes people miss on the field, and he ran like a 4.7. So
yeah, you can't separate. But if you throw it up to him, he'll probably come down with that.
He's a gadget guy, I think, at the next level. To be honest, you can get him on a screen, and he's gonna get 10 yards and make somebody miss.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna post draft. I'm gonna do something that I haven't done before. I'm so desperate for sports content. I'm probably gonna do like post
I think
draft
we
scouting.
all are.
I think I'm gonna do like post draft scouting reports and like just put them out there because now that I know who's taken, give them to some of the fans of each team. Guys that I might not know or that I didn't look at yet. I mean, it's not much else to do right now.
I'm gonna start doing scouting reports on next year's players.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
too.
I was gonna say
one.
somebody should do like a too early mock on.
I am. I'm
already
started
did,
it
man.
already.
I would like to do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rashad Bateman's nice from Minnesota next year. Good receiver, better than Tyler. Well, him and Tyler Johnson were a really good duo this year.
Next year's
There goes
receiving
Jonathan
class is
Garvin.
going to be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Packers did not take a receiver. It's Jonathan Garvin from Miami, so they just.
Oh man.
I mean, Garvin's good value here, but I'd rather them have taken a receiver.
I guarantee you, Aaron Rodgers said something to LaFleur and said, "Hey, if you get me a receiver, I'm not throwing it to him." Like because he has say in some of these picks. I think.
Do you have say in the Jordan Love
I think he does
I don't think
too.
He has say in that, but
I think he does too. Even though like last offseason when LaFleur was coming in, they made a big deal of saying both of them made a big deal of saying Aaron Rodgers is not involved in any personnel decisions of his team, and we all know that was BS.
Yeah,
we all know.
They said that because they knew we were all thinking it. So
yeah, exactly. Although I will also say on the flip side, and I'm not sure that I completely disagree with this, I still think Marquez Valdes-Scantling can be a good wideout in this league. Like he showed some flashes, but obviously last year was a big disappointment. But you know how it is. A lot of times with these wideouts, I mean, you got to go 3 or 4 years before you ever like realize your potential. Like the breakout for a wide receiver is rarely in the first year or the second year, and sometimes not even in the third.
I just think Scantling's big player bust. I mean,
yeah.
He doesn't have great hands.
Alan Lazard,
I think they're using him the wrong way.
I like Alan Lazard a lot.
Alan Lazard though is he's like the perfect complement to Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
they just need to feed him more targets.
I was really hoping they would add Laviska Shenault, but
no, stop that. That's my guy.
Stop that.
Yeah, now he is.
No, be gone.
Honestly, like in beginning of the second round, I'm going, okay, what kind of receivers? And I screamed at the TV when the Colts took up him, and I'm like, no, why? Yeah. And then the next guy went. I gotta look.
It's all right. There's no way we're gonna remember all these picks.
No.
I already don't. I think twice in this conversation somebody said something about a certain team getting a guy, and I was like, really? That happened?
Yeah, that I don't know.
Does anyone know if New England
especially when you get to like the 6th round. And it's just like chugging along and everybody's doing their coverage and talking about whatever. And if you blink, you'll miss a pick.
Exactly, yeah.
And you'll be like, why has this guy not been taken yet? And somebody will say, he got taken. Like 8 picks ago.
I can't believe Kenny Willekes fell to the 7th round.
Yeah, that's what I said to Minnesota. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Too.
Does New England have another pick tonight? Does anyone know?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I was really hoping they'd add Tyshawn Render, edge from Middle Tennessee State, who Bill Belichick skipped the combine to go scout him in the rain. That was the big narrative. Belichick sweet. Outside in the rain, just scouting that one guy. Maybe he might be a priority free agent signing for them. Who knows?
Can we talk about?
Did you guys see? You guys have seen the clips of. The coaches or the GMs at their houses or whatever and whatnot. This is a complete side note, but they had like one of the big ones was Belichick kept giving his dog treats on camera.
Yeah.
But the best part was I think it was second round, maybe it was first. I think it was second. when the Patriots picked, they cut to Belichick's house, and
it was just the dog.
His husky was sitting in the chair at the computer, like not even on the floor. He was just like sitting at the table looking around, hilarious. And there was no BB to be seen anywhere.
Yeah,
it's really funny when Isaiah Wilson's mom pulled his girlfriend out of the picture.
Oh God, that was great. And it wasn't even like gentle. It wasn't even like
she like yanked her out of the picture.
It was like, get out of here. What are you doing here? That's my baby. That's my baby.
Was it CeeDee Lamb whose girlfriend like tried to take his phone and then he like ripped it out of her hand? Like,
and then everyone was like commenting on her Instagram saying stuff, and she had to come out and say that it was his agent calling at the same time the Cowboys were calling, so she was going to answer it for him.
I gotta say, I've actually really enjoyed the format this year way more than the whole stage and all the pomp and circumstance and everything. Like,
I mean, they both have every year.
They're both cool, because when you do the stage thing and stuff like that, I like the fact that teams have, like, you know, one of their Hall of Fame players or somebody to come out and announce the pick and, you know, and say go whomever and whatever. I like that stuff, but this has been really cool. The only thing I think that's been missing is there's been a lack of interviews, and everybody's got FaceTime. These players all have FaceTime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So there's been a little bit of a lack of that, although sometimes that can get redundant even in the traditional way of doing it. You just talk and talk and talk, and you're like, all right, we get it. We've already heard all these narratives already. But occasionally you kind of want to hear somebody say, you know, this is really cool. Like when we took T. Higgins, one of the best quotes I saw was, I'm not ashamed to say I'm a huge Bengals fan, and getting a call from my favorite team was surreal. And I would have loved to have seen that on TV.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough when his favorite team cuts him in a couple of years.
What's that?
Oh, I called him a bust.
He is a bust. I think he is too. Oh, Tampa Bay just made a great pick. Raymond Calais, the running back from Louisiana, is super underrated guy.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
The most ironic thing about T. Higgins is he said he became a Bengals fan, or is especially a Bengals fan, because of AJ Green.
Yeah, I did see that.
That's pretty ironic, because us drafting him probably means
that is high expectations.
By AJ.
Like, he can't separate. He doesn't have the same speed as AJ Green. Like, if those are the expectations, that's unnerving.
Well, I don't know that it means that that we think he's gonna be AJ Green. It's just, I mean, why else? Tyler Boyd's a great receiver. Auden Tate showed last year that he's a great receiver, and we can't pay Mixon and AJ Green and William Jackson III and Sean Williams.
Yeah,
somebody's got to go, and I would think AJ would have gotten his contract by now. So taking a wide receiver in the second says to me that it's probably AJ is the odd man out.
So for you guys, and you can be homers with your favorite college when I ask this or whatever, but what would be like one guy in these last 10 picks that you really want to see get drafted? It doesn't even have to be a guy like Hunter Bryant, but just some guy.
Michael Warren.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Javelin Goudry, slot corner with.
He hasn't even gone. He hasn't gone yet.
No, and I'm actually really surprised because.
Me too. I thought he was gone.
Yeah.
I think I need Lamar Jackson to go for.
Yeah, I was looking at Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that would have been my other guy.
I kind of wanted us to draft Lamar Jackson just so we could have Lamar Jackson playing against Lamar Jackson.
Oh my God.
And Lamar Jackson dropped
for the same
reason, Lamar Jackson.
I also wanted to draft AJ Green.
For
the same reason. So we could have two AJ Greens on our team.
Yeah.
Did AJ Green go already?
I don't think so.
I don't
I don't
think
think he
he
did
has.
either.
No.
That's weird.
That's
there's a
two
few guys.
AFC North stars that have not come off the board yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys I'm shocked did come off the board. Like Jay-Sean Cornell, who went to Ohio State, did not think he was getting drafted. I mean, he's one of those guys who made the occasional decent play, but I mean, I didn't think he would get drafted before Robert Landers for Ohio State, but there's just some weird picks off the board.
I think
Right.
Jeff Thomas too. It's
Yeah,
surprising that he hasn't he's
I
got
know.
he's got so much talent, and like those
Yeah.
guys with off the field concerns. This is the round where they get them.
Right, you take the risk, and if they end up being like a head case, then it was a 7th round pick you blew.
Yeah. Well, Tyreek Hill was a 5th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a 5th. So I mean,
Malcolm
Nate
Perry just
Stanley.
went.
Nate Stanley to the Vikings.
Yeah.
Malcolm Perry from Navy just went too.
Ooh.
That was a guy. I think one of the bigger reaches. I mean, and it's a 5th round pick, but Kansas City taking Mike Dana from Michigan. I didn't see that coming at all. I had an undrafted grade on him too.
Yeah, but you hate Michigan.
I love Josh Uche. He was one of my. Josh Uche is one of my guys that I really liked. I don't know if he made my guys team or not, but he didn't. But he was one of my favorite edge rushers / linebackers.
So, can we talk about the New York Giants draft and what Gettleman did? Because I think
A good job. Wow.
I know it's one of the most underrated drafts. Andrew Thomas, who is the
Great
safest
pick.
of
Oh yeah.
all of them. Don't care. I think
Yeah.
he's my OT1. Xavier
Me
McKinney
too.
in the 2nd.
Yeah, fantastic value.
Oh yeah.
Matt Pert in the 3rd, who has developmental upside and can start at right tackle. Darnay
Yep.
Holmes, slot nickel. Come on.
Perfect. Great pick.
Shane Lemieux in the 5th as a guard, opposite Hernandez. Man.
Yeah. And with this pick, the Giants take Chris Williamson from Minnesota, who's another one of the sleeper guys I was looking at. I don't know if you guys looked at him or not, but it's a decent pick there. But yeah, they've had a good. Gettleman's turned it around. I was really expecting. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't what happened today.
Stupid pick in the first round.
Yeah, I was expecting Derek
Gettleman-
Brown, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, how about the Chiefs getting Lucas Niang at the end of the 3rd?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like I thought he could make it to the 3rd.
Mm.
And frankly, I wanted us to take him with the first pick in the 3rd. But for him to pretty much clear the 3rd round is baffling to me.
There's a
I
medical
know.
problem though. Like
Gotta be. Yeah.
I wrote about him several times. He had a torn hip labrum. 83% of people come back. So you're betting on the 83 out of 100, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's the same. I mean, it's the same injury that Tua had, right?
No, I think it was worse.
But Niang, when he was healthy, held his own against Ohio State edge rushers, both Young and Nick Bosa.
Yeah,
so.
He was. I mean, he was originally a 1st round pick
Yeah.
or 1st round talent. Excuse me.
Yeah. So was AJ Epinesa. I don't really know why he slid as far as he did. I understood if he slid to the early 2nd, but falling to my Bills that late, it was like almost a pick you had to make.
That's
Well, and that's
crazy.
what I was saying about Lucas. Like, I agree, Brady, that the reason he slipped was because of that hip injury. But by all accounts, everybody said that if he gets drafted, he might have to miss like OTAs and a portion of training camp. But this year, it doesn't really matter. They said he'd be fine by the beginning of the season. And he got cleared by, just like, I think same as Tua, got cleared by a doctor that all the other teams say, yeah, we trust that doctor to tell us the case. So I get the slippage, and I thought he'd slip to the 3rd, but I thought he'd slip to like us with the 1st pick in the 3rd, not another 31 picks later.
They got a starting right tackle in the 3rd. Like, even if he's even if he starts next year, come on.
Yeah.
They were one of my winners last night because they got better.
They did.
Oh yeah.
Stupid.
What do you guys think of I was pretty disappointed in the Rams picking Bryson Hopkins solely because it hurts Tyler Higbee's fantasy value now. Because Higbee was so dominant at the end of last year when Everett wasn't playing. They threw him the ball so much. And I think, is Everett in a contract year this year?
I'll check.
I think he
I don't
is, or
know.
the year after. But I believe Hopkins is already 24. I just don't really think he brings any upside either, at least as a blocker. Definitely not.
I mean, it's got to just be. I guess it's just depth, but that's too early. It's too early for that kind of depth. But I'm with you on the fantasy aspect because I just drafted Higbee in a dynasty league, and I was like, "What? No!"
Yeah, exactly.
Like literally, like day before yesterday, I drafted him in dynasty.
Wow, damn, you just disappeared again.
That Geo man, if he doesn't like what somebody's saying, he just bails out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gerald Everett, right? That's who he was asking.
Yeah,
there he is. Yeah. Everett's cap hit is $2 million, and yeah, this is his final year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
Yeah, I gotta see Lamar Jackson get drafted here. Like, come on.
It's still. I mean, I guess it makes sense if Everett's in a contract year, but it's still a little bit strange considering. Although the Rams haven't had a terrible draft, but it's still a little. Tommy Stevens. That's just like it was so weird. I'm sorry. They just put the Saints picks up on the screen.
Oh, here we go. There's a kicker.
It's not Rodrigo again.
Wow.
Sam Sloman.
I don't get it.
Miami, Ohio. Oh, and he's gone again. He's like, I don't get it. I hate this pick, and then he's just gone. He dipped.
Right. I'm out of here. Yeah, but like I said, even if the Rams have had a decent draft. I mean, nothing spectacular.
They took Van Jefferson over Denzel Mims.
Yeah, I mean they're drafting by need, and I get it. For the most part, and I get it, but like I agree with Gio. I don't think even with Everett in a contract year, I don't know about taking a tight end when you've got a whole lot of other holes.
Yeah. I didn't like their draft, to be honest. I thought Akers in the second is that's. I don't know. I think you can get a capable running back in the third and the fourth, like Joshua Kelly.
Yeah,
he's gonna get 15 carries a game, and he's gonna be fine for the Chargers.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Oh well.
I really wanted the Chargers to go for. I mentioned Michael Warren earlier, and I want to see Warren drafted. Not just because he's from Cincinnati and I'm a fan, but I mocked him to the Chargers in both of my mocks. In the first, the pre-free agency one, I had him in the 7th. Stock seemed to go up a little bit, so in the second, in the post-free agency one, I had him in the 6th. And he's one of those dudes. Well, like we were talking about with the Ravens earlier, he's one of those dudes that doesn't just. He's not shifty. He doesn't dance. He just puts his head down and goes. And so, you've already got Eckler, and assuming he can stay healthy, you got Justin Jackson. Both those guys see the field well. Both of them can catch a ball and make people miss. You need somebody that can put their head down and just go. And I thought the Chargers could have waited till close to the end of the draft and get Warren that can always get you that 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, goal line carry, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But you're probably right. He wouldn't get as many carries as what's his name's gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite draft, not including your home team? Your top 2, because obviously it's hard.
Yeah. I gotta look at these again.
Well, that's the thing. Is my problem is that for like all day today, I haven't been hardly taking any notes.
Yeah.
I know I thought that Minnesota started out really well. Well, not started out because I think Jefferson was too early. But they rebounded pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And got some good players after that. And I really dislike the Ravens, but I think they've had a really good draft. And it's because guys just kept falling to them that had no business being there when they were picking. It was like Christmas every time.
Yeah. As I said before, I hate myself for saying this is the best draft, but it's probably the Cowboys for me.
Cowboys, yeah.
Because it's like everything that fell into their lap, like getting, I mean, even just Lamb in the first round, getting him at 17 is nuts. And then having the odds falling to the 4th, Ney falling to the 5th, like I can't even understand that.
I think mine is the Broncos. Getting Jerry in the 5th or 15th pick overall, and then Hamler. Like, you're gonna find out real quick if Locke is the answer, and he's a second round pick, so they can invest heavy in quarterback next year if they want.
Yeah.
Also, they got 2 starters in interior O-line. Cushenberry, he's okay, but Muti in the 6th, if he can stay healthy, is a legit starter.
I like Cushenberry just because I think for an offensive lineman, saying more cushion for the pushing is outstanding.
Yeah. Teams.
But the Ravens, I mean, they have four picks in the 3rd, I think, and Queen and like you said, Dobbins is questionable for where he went.
I like the Prochet pick.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Prochet's great.
And the Duvernay.
Yep. And they got 2 guards. They got 2 guards late.
Yeah.
And I guess anytime you're gonna have, I think it was 4 picks in the 3rd. Anytime you got 4 picks in a round that early, obviously you're gonna end up with some good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had a heck of a haul, and I hate that, but analyzing it, you can't decide against it just because you don't like a certain team.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a solid draft all around.
Yeah. I am extremely happy as a homer with the Bengals draft, though. I would have liked one of the earlier linebacker picks to be offensive line. But between Gaither and what's his name, who we took in the 3rd, I see why they took him. Those guys were on the board. You had to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Bengals draft for sure. And you know what? Take a shot in T. Higgins, because if they feel like he could be the guy, then do it. But
yeah,
and the Logan Wilson pick, I really like that one.
That's what I meant. So Logan Williams and Gaither, when we had virtually no linebackers,
it's solid.
You had to go there. You had to do it.
Yeah.
And those are 2 really good guys to have. The only thing about Gaither that concerns me a little bit is he? Well, no, not. It's more an injury thing. Is he's missing a lot of cartilage in one of those knees. And it's
sorry to cut you off, but Stephen Sullivan from LSU just went
before Thad Moss.
Or Bryant. What? Something's going on. Something's wrong with Bryant if nobody's picking him.
Wow.
Yeah, there must be. I saw Sullivan get mocked a couple times by some other people, and before Moss, and I couldn't figure it out. And regrettably, I didn't go back and watch a bunch of tape. I don't know. He must be. He must be a more. What's that?
He's bigger. He's a better inline blocker.
I guess so, but I mean, Moss is a great blocker on the line.
Yeah, he's okay.
I think he's really good. I mean,
I don't think Moss is big enough to be a tight end in the NFL. I thought he was like 230 when he played.
Right.
but I'm not sure. I'm just going off.
Yeah, I mean, he's just. I mean, from the stuff that I watched on him, he's a tough dude. And like, I wouldn't draft him because I needed a pass catching tight end. I would have drafted Moss to block. Because anytime somebody was running a blitz with a linebacker or safety, man, he didn't just pick it up. Like, he stuck guys. Like, he could stick dudes off the line of scrimmage really, really, really well. But he's not very fast, so he's not going to get downfield and block ahead of you. And as a receiver, he's not beating anybody off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Yeah.
But suffice it to say, though, that I think somebody will sign him as a UDFA, and whoever does is probably getting a steal as a UDFA for, a guy in Moss that probably should have been drafted in this tight end class, considering how weak the class is.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
You don't agree with that?
I mean, yeah, he was good, but you also have an offense where they schemed him open quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. He's got good hands too, right? Like,
he's got great hands. Great hands.
So
but that's what I'm saying. I like his hands. I like his toughness. I like his blocking. His speed is not good at all, even for a tight end. There were a couple of vids I saw where he just looked like he was running quicksand. Yeah. But I mean, I think signing him as a UDFA, I think a team's got to be happy with that. And especially if you can get him to the practice squad.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
But because he's got potential. But I agree with you about the size thing. Size is a concern. But if you could get him to the practice squad and develop him a little bit, who knows? I mean, it's worth a try. And frankly, I thought somebody would draft him just because of his name too.
Did anybody draft Anthony Gordon?
No, I don't think so. Unless I missed it.
No, I think he went. I think he went recently, didn't he?
Oh, I didn't see it. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah.
I honestly could see the Giants going for Hunter Bryant.
Oh, yeah, that would be
very relevant.
Yeah. Or Trey Adams too, right? Wow.
Yeah. If Lamar Jackson is undrafted, I want the Eagles to get him.
I have no idea why he's just not athletic enough.
There's some really weird ones, and you can make cases for or against anybody.
Yeah.
But there are some very odd names that are still out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I guess it's a lot of people are at a disadvantage because, they couldn't have meetings and go work out for teams, personally. Like I said earlier,
yeah.
The Bengals lucked out by coaching the Pro Bowl or coaching the Senior Bowl, excuse me, and took, 5 guys that played in that game and would have been a 6th if the other linebacker wasn't hurt. Like, for a while, Burrow was the only guy that didn't play in the Senior Bowl, and obviously he didn't have to. And then we also took, out of our 7 guys, 6 of them were team captains on the teams they were on.
Yeah, that makes sense. You guys always like high character guys. So, for your teams, who was your favorite pick?
Provided he's healthy, I'm most excited about Gaither. I don't necessarily mean that's what I think the best pick is, obviously, I just took Joe Burrow #1. So,
Yeah.
but I think Adam Gaither is the one that I'm most excited about seeing what he can do, because his tape is it's fun to watch, man. He flies.
My favorite for the Eagles is probably either Wallace or Prince, because both of those are pretty good value picks for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean Prince without a doubt.
Yeah,
even
their last pick, Tool, was pretty good value too. He kind of fell.
Yeah. How about you, Brady?
I like Chenault because I like offensive players. But yeah, I'll go with Chenault because I think top 3 picks were all boom bust. Like they could go either way.
Yeah.
Ben Bartches. Yeah, I'll go Chenault. If he stays healthy, I think he could be a top 20 wide receiver.
I think our best pick was Logan Wilson.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But it was one where he was on the board, and I think we had to do it. Like, so it was kind of a little bit of a no-brainer in that, in that way. But I'm most excited about watching Gaither. And if I went out, if I was going to run out and buy a jersey tomorrow, I'm a big linebacker guy, so I would probably get a Gaither jersey.
Damn, LSU got 14 players drafted.
Wow.
Yeah, I think 9 or 10 in the first round. They set a record in the first round.
It was like LSU. It was like every other pick was LSU or Alabama, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then today, it feels like over and over it was Clemson.
Yeah, all the late round guys.
All right, we got Mr. Irrelevant coming up soon.
Awesome.
Pick is in. Let's see. Should be coming in soon.
Well, that was fun, guys. Thanks for a great 7th round.
Yeah. And then it's going to be fun to see where these undrafted guys go, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially there's going to be plenty of notable names, I think, popping up on the news feeds in the next few days.
Yeah. Hunter Bryant, Lamar Jackson are going to be the top ones.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson.
And Moss.
All right, guys. I'm out of here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right.
Got it. Take it easy, Brady. Let's I guess we'll be cranking out some articles in the next couple of days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got some stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah.
All right. See you guys.
See you, man.
See ya.
Who's Mr. Irrelevant going to? The Giants?
Yeah. I think it's got to be somebody on offense for them. Because they've drafted 3 straight linebackers. So
right. Well, and normally at this point, you're reaching for a dude. You're just taking a shot on somebody.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we just said, there are so many pretty good names still on the board that I don't think this year Mr. Irrelevant is going to be irrelevant at all.
Especially if it's like somebody like Hunter Bryant.
Yeah.
Like he's going to step right into that offense.
Yep.
Because who even is their tight end? I don't even know.
Evan Ingram.
Oh, yeah, but they can do like a double tight end set.
Oh, for sure. Especially when you got Saquon on the field.
Oh
yeah. Double tight end works just fine.
Yeah. Let's see. Should be coming in here soon.
Well, I'm a little behind where you are.
Oh, okay. I'll probably say it before you see it.
You'll break you'll break the news like Gio. Yeah. I think it's going to be so and so.
Yeah. If it's not, I'm going to be really surprised if it's not Bryant. Like I don't know who else it would be.
I mean, I don't know. There has to be. I mean, did Bryant go to like all 32 teams and kick all the GMs and the Stones or something?
It must have been it. Yeah. I have no idea. Well, they're announcing it now, so.
255th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Tay Crowder, linebacker.
Another linebacker?
Who?
Tay Crowder from Georgia.
Oh, wow.
Why would they go for another linebacker? They had drafted like 3 or 4.
I don't know. I mean, he's not a bad player, but
yeah, that's not what I don't understand that. I guess they're trying to get depth at linebacker, but still weird.
Well, this is going to be. I actually have not been this enthused about seeing where a bunch of UDFAs are going to end up.
Yeah.
Maybe ever. Because there's a bunch of names that I'm like, who's going to get this guy? Who's going to get that guy? Who's going to get this guy?
Yeah. I'm never this excited about that.
No, never. Like, I don't really, I mean, honestly, in the past, like, I just wait and, check on just my team later. I don't usually care that much about UDFAs at all, but there are so many guys in this draft that didn't go that I was expecting to be gone right now.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, I'm going to bail out, brother.
All right. This is fun. Yeah. So
thanks for having me as always.
Yeah.
And I'll see you on the flip.
All right. See you.
Bye.
4 linebackers.